We love the comment section. We say it all the time on the channel. Hey, if you have a suggestion for a video, by all means, let us know, and we'll be more than happy to get to it for you. So my name is Russ. This is Lauren. We populate the Infectious Groove music channel here on YouTube. And today, Lauren is going to bring you a suggestion from our comment section saying, hey, y'all should do a video on great three-piece bands. Now, I feel like some of these are shooting fish in a barrel.
Yep.
But I also feel like there are some of these bands that a lot of people might not even realize are three-piece bands.
Yeah.
Because the sound is so enormous. So take us down a walk down three-piece lane.
I am going to take us down a walk down three-piece lane, yeah. I'm starting off with James Gang. I love Joe Walsh, and I love James Gang. And, you know, this is definitely one of those that you can kind of tell that it's a three-piece band. This one for sure, I was like, oh, yeah, this I get. But when Joe Walsh left James Gang, he left because he was kind of getting frustrated with being the only melodic instrument in the band. But, man, if you sit and listen to, like, Walk Away or Funk 49, Tom Chris was doing work on the bass, and it's like, that's a melody right there. Like, so, Joe, there's other melodies happening.
A lot of times on the channel, we're on every video where we have specific songs we talk about. We always put the link to the songs in the description. With this, where we're talking about whole bands, we're not going to have that in the description. But I can tell you this. If you've never heard James Gang before, go out today and blind buy a copy of James Gang Rides Again, and you will be stunned and amazed at what you've missed up until now, just on that one LP. So kicking us off strong, where are we going next?
We're going to Genesis.
And then there were three.
Yeah, so it's obviously the trio version of Genesis. And, you know, going from a band that wasn't a three-piece and becoming a band that ultimately ended up being a three-piece, you can tell the difference. Their sound got tighter and like more sparse, but also not. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, another thing too is a lot of people, when they first think of Genesis, they think the 80s pop sound, and there is a lot of trio stuff that is not that 80s pop sound. So you're looking a little earlier than that.
Yeah.
And you'll be amazed.
Oh yeah, what Follow You, Follow Me is like
completely different than what most people think. This next band I think is extremely well known as a three-piece because it's kind of their brand, or at least when I first saw them, you always saw the three of them doing guitar tricks or whatever. But and this is another one where a lot of people think of their 80s slick production, but man, before that, totally different ballgame.
Yeah, I mean, every girl's crazy about a three-piece band, and ZZ Top, you're absolutely right. This is a very Genesis type situation where their slick 80s stuff is great and it's super fun, but what came before that is like so different. I feel like if you were to put like Legs right next to LaGrange and totally to somebody who didn't know that it was the same band, they would not think it was the same band.
This is the second time I'm going to do this in this video. So while you're out today buying James Gang Rides Again, also pick up a ZZ Top record called De Gallo. And if all you ever heard in your life is Sharp Dressed Man or Legs, you are in for a world of hurt to find out what you've been missing, because I love, like, that's a whole different era of completely different sound. The last two, I think, are the most shooting fish in a barrel, but they're great three-piece bands. Totally
great three-piece bands. Yeah, the next one on the list is Cream. And, you know, you can't go wrong with Jack Bruce, Eric Clapton, and Ginger Baker. Like, you absolutely can't. And their sound was so big. And I think that for me, anyway, that's largely Ginger Baker. You know, because he was kind of like a jazz drummer in a rock band.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Well, a lot of cats were from that time, too. You know, like one of the reasons why Rick Wright's work in Pink Floyd is so amazing is because he was a jazz pianist and kind of moved himself into the rock world. And a lot of those drummers were that way. Yeah. We just saw a Drumeo video about Ringo where they was talking about how much he appreciated jazz drumming before he started as well. For your last choice, this is the most shooting of the most fish in the most of the barrels. But we are, in fact, going to take off to the Great White North for
Rush.
Well, I mean, could be the greatest three-piece band of all time.
I think so. That's why they're last on the list. I didn't want to start with Rush and then be like, oh, so these other ones.
Yeah, and then also other people.
You know, like when you're talking three-piece bands, like Rush is it. They're absolutely it. Like so brilliant, so innovative, and just like
they're
you can't go wrong.
That I feel like most viewers of our channel would probably are aware that Rush is a three-piece band. But I feel like to a casual listener of rock and roll music, you could easily convince them that Rush is a 5-piece band.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Especially if you play something like Temples of the Syrinx or the entirety of the 2112 suite, or even something as, quote, simple as Tom Sawyer. You could easily convince someone that there are 5 people playing on that.
I mean, Neil Peart is playing enough drums for 5 people.
Right, yeah.
So,
well, and with Geddy doing the work of a vocalist and keyboardist and a bass player at the same time, you know, and this cat would do these things live
at the same time.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, we laid all this down and then we can't recreate it live. So yeah, I mean, Rush.
Oh, and Geddy Lee's bass lines, like if you sometimes just like stop and only listen to that, like it's a whole other thing in and of itself. It's just super fun.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
So that was a viewer suggested video of, hey, can you name 5 3-piece bands that are great? And oh yeah, we definitely can. Like I say, we feel like this was kind of shooting fish in the barrel for some of them. But if you haven't heard that James Gang record or the early ZZ Top stuff, stop what you're doing and go out and get those things today and improve your life. And if you have 3-piece bands that we didn't think of, maybe that weren't so obvious, that we didn't mention in the video, by all means, drop those in the description below. And as we always say, thank you so much for watching.